वासी धौले धारों के राजा शंकर संकट हरना शंकर संकट हरना शंकर संकट हरना।
बैकग्राउंड म्यूजिक ऑन करना बीच में से ऑन कर देना थोड़ा सा मोशन सो दैट यू कैन लिसन टू द ये थोड़ा
शैलाशों के वासी धौले धारों के राजा शंकर संकट हरना शंकर संकट हरना। बेले के पत्तियां भांग धतूरा बेले के पत्तियां भांग धतूरा शिव जी के मन को लुभाए ओ भोले बाबा।
So should we use the flag? It's beautiful the flag. अच्छा आवाज
परफेक्ट रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है इसके बाद इससे आगे जब उसमें जाता है दूर है ना
why is that happening?
चेकिंग दैट आउट बिल्कुल परफेक्ट रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है इसमें बराबर है और रिकॉर्ड करके सुनो
Recording अच्छा है. In the meanwhile, you can download one track on apps. Do you have WhatsApp on your laptop? Yeah. But I need like what Wi-Fi? You must do. Okay, what's the password?
एक मिनट ही कांस्टेबल हाँ उसका हैंडल करो और कितनी पासवर्ड
Hello, mic check. Hello, mic check 1 2 3. Hello, check. Hello. Hello, mic check. Hello. Hello, mic check. Hello. Hello. Hello, mic check. Hello. Hello, mic check. Hello. Hello. Hello, mic check.
Facebook is fine. It's the also good for me, which is why it's just creating the eco muffled हो रहे सब songs, है ना? Facebook writer is really asking for the advanced topic. Anyway, the whole topic,
Yeah.
Hello. Hello, mic check. Hello. Hello, check. Hello. Hello. Hello, mic check. Hello.
This is going to be streamed. So whatever you want to see is not to be streamed.
But we are recording, right?
No, we are recording. We're just streaming.
Sorry, but that is not
If I answer it, we
can you please mute on Zoom, ourselves on Zoom?
Yeah.
अभी जो है सुमित कहाँ गया? सुमित
त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मोक्षीय मामृतात् 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 Shivasti. Namah Shivaya, and a warm welcome from this collective heart to that collective energy that we are blessed to share this very, very special night with. Everybody who's even remotely connected with me knows how special this night is for me. And I know a lot of you are used to coming home and we spend the night in dance and song and prayer and chants. And the pandemic situation, the halahal of the world today is not allowing us. So just as he swallowed the halahal that came churning out of the seas, we decided that we'll swallow the halahal of the pandemic situation and figured out it's time to embrace this new normal. We're really not so comfortable doing this remotely because we can't look into your eyes as deeply. We can't be holding hands and hugging. But if he can, so can we. So we're here. And like I put in a post today that somewhere maybe, just maybe, this is like part of this transition of awareness, transition of consciousness of whatever we're calling this age. We're calling it the Aquarian age, we're calling it the age of consciousness, the new order, where there's a call to move away from the physical. So here we're being stopped from being physically close, but that which throbs within us, the Shiva Tattva, that who dances within us, the Shakti Tattva, cannot stop themselves from being one breath on this night. And we will find ways to connect our consciousness, our energies, our hearts, regardless of this distance through the screens. We'll still look into each other's eyes and we'll still be able to resound Hara Hara Mahadev Shambho. It's extra special to be streaming from my soul home, our soul home, the Yoga House, Mumbai. Some of you are here with us on the Zoom. The others are probably, hopefully, watching this live on the Yoga House Facebook page or my YouTube channel. The links are on our Instagrams. You can find them. You can share them if anybody else wants to join. And let me quickly, before we move into celebrating and dancing the night away with bliss, introduce you to this motley crew that we are here. Manasi, the judge, a soul sister, and a very immersed, very detailed yoga teacher, pranayama and breath work facilitator, and she will not share anything unless she has lived with it for a long, long time, unless she has assimilated it into her very being, into her very physical, mental, emotional, and consciousness bodies. So whatever she has to offer, I know that she offers from the depth of her wisdom, and it's an honor and a privilege to share this space with you. Jalil Jalakia, my yogini spark, she has been part of the Shivaratri journey for a few years with us now. And this is the first time that we're doing this together, and that makes it extra special. She will be opening, if you've noted the kind of sequence, she will be opening the evening today with some spinal activations, and I'll leave it to her to tell us why. A lot of us know something about it, but we'll let her tell us as she takes us in. We have my Bitya from another life, my niece, and an amazing, immersed singer. She has this huge variety of music that she can do, but bhakti is something that she has dived into recently, and she is taking us all deep into that rhythm and dance of bhakti music. Anjali Khandelwal. She's been engaging us with beautiful lives through the lockdowns and through this period when we've been not knowing what to do with our time. And tonight she's here to give us a little bit of Shiva in her song. I also welcome online, they're not here with us, but they're here one breath with us, 𝗠𝗵𝗶, who is a divine feminine facilitator. She is a specialist in Shakti aspects of healing, of wellness, of connecting. And Prasenjit Kamble, Prasen, who is the sounds of Shiva. He is the sounds of Shiva, who's a facilitator and has created this beautiful, powerful, sound meditative journey called the Sounds of Shiva. I call him my Shiva Sakha. So welcome Prasen, welcome 𝗠𝗵𝗶. And like I said earlier yesterday when we were jamming, that all of us are somehow more oriented towards Shiva energy, Shiva Tattva. And 𝗠𝗵𝗶 has come in as the Shakti, because without Shakti, without the Chalana of Shakti, nothing is possible really. So we must open with a Shankhanad, and then we will leave it to Jamil to take us into the opening sequences. So I hope everybody is settled in. You must have gone through the guidelines, the guidances. Try and savor this as much as you can deeply with presence. Your phones are on non-telephone modes, I hope, if you're watching this on the phone. Do try and kind of put yourself away in a safe place, in a sacred, consecrated space, energetically and physically in your home. And let's do this together. Hara Hara Mahadev. That's how sound and vibration works. My gong, I always would begin with the shank, and the gong picks up and absorbs and plays that gong, the shankha sound. So here's to connecting to our vibrations. Janil, we're waiting to start with you. All yours.
What
Namaste everyone and welcome to this glorious night. Thank you Anoopama for opening up this night in this beautiful manner that she does all the time. So this session that we're going to do, we're going to begin the night with some spinal movements. Now why spinal movements? We all know that today is this glorious night when the planetary alignment is in such a powerful manner that there is a great upsurge of energy that happens. Upsurge of energy that happens from the root chakra, which is the seat of the Shakti. And that energy goes upwards, which is towards the crown chakra, which is the seat of the Shiva. And that is what this night is all about, the Shakti meeting the Shiva. And that's why it is very important to keep our spine upright the entire night, which is when we can allow that energy to go up. And as we know, spine, the human spine is one of the most beautiful structures in the being. We all have evolved from horizontal to vertical. That is how the evolution has happened of the species, from horizontal to the vertical. And it is only in the vertical alignment that the gravitational force works in tandem with us. If our spine is misaligned, then the gravitational force becomes, you can say, an enemy and not a friend. And we definitely don't want that. And today, the reason why we are opening with these spinal movements, some fluidity to our spine, is because in all the further sessions, you're going to be sitting down. So when you're sitting down, it's very important to keep your spine upright. So this session will help you to keep your spine upright for a long time without any discomfort. Yes, so let's get started with that. Come up to a standing position, everyone. If you're already seated, just a little bit standing, a little bit sitting, and that's about it. Yeah, I'm going to put some music on. So I hope everyone is standing. Stand with your feet a little apart. And let's start with the area of our neck. Don't forget that neck is also a part of our spine, the cervical region. So be very free, be very fluid. Remember, nobody is looking at you. Enjoy this. This is your time. This is a glorious night. Let's have fun. So start by moving the neck side to side. And also adding a little bit of body movement. So while you're moving the neck, feel free to really move whatever wants to move, as if you're listening to the call of your body. Nice neck movements. Feel free to keep your eyes open. Feel free to keep your eyes closed. And now gently move your neck up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Few more times. Up, down, up and down. And now feel free to move your neck sideways as if you're making a semicircle from the down. Again, feel free to add on. If your hands want to move, let them. And now make full circles with your neck. Keep breathing, keep the breath going, and go other direction with the circles. And now let's do the shoulders. Right shoulder up and down. Very fluid, up and down. You may also have a little sway in your hip. The shoulder and the neck and the spine is very well connected. So just a little up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Let's do the left side. Up, down. Up, down. Up, down. Up, down. And now let's add both together. So up, alternating down. Up and down. Up and down. See, I'm also moving my hands. Feel free to move your hips if needed, or if it is asking you to be moved. And now move your shoulders in circles and reverse. And now get your hands on your hips and just move your hip left, right, front, back. Left, right, front, back. left, right, front, back. And now let's connect the dots and move it in circles. Nice fluid circles. Clockwise. And then anti-clockwise. Nice fluid circles. Now let's add some hands also to this movement. So feel free to add your hands also, and see what you're also doing is automatically moving the spine. So I'm moving the spine to the right, moving the spine to the left. Let's do this a few times. A lateral stretch to the right and to the left. Feel free to add your hands, the weight is asking for. Be very fluid in your spine, as if there is like a water. Imagine like a wave. You're just moving your spine from side to side, holding no rigidity, just moving it, feeling the nice flow, releasing all the tension that we hold on to our spine, releasing all the stiffness that we hold on to it. Few more sideways like this. Feel the pull, as if you're pulling your spine to one direction and then to another direction. And slowly relax. And now let's move the spine in a wave manner. We all know that the spine is not a straight shape but a S. So we're going to move in a S shape. Imagine you have a wall in front of you, okay? And you're going to touch your different body parts to the wall. Let's start by touching our nose. First one we'll do nice and slow. Touch the nose on an imaginary wall. Touch your chest, touch your stomach, touch your thighs, and pull back. So you're creating that nice wave. Let's do it a little faster. Nose, chest, stomach, thighs, and back. Nose, chest, stomach, thighs, and back. Few more rounds. Nose, chest, stomach, thighs, and back. Now feel free to add your hands also. And keep a little wide stance so you're comfortable. Nose, chest, stomach, thighs, and back. I want you to really move the spine. Feel free to bend your knees. Feel free to move it in a concave manner. Feel free to move it in a convex manner. Add on your hands. Wave. Create a nice wave. Feel that nice fluidity. Feel free to even turn around. Feel free to even move from side to side. And you can continue the waves. Let's do this a few more rounds. And then you may also increase your stance and then kind of combine everything. So the front and back waves, the side waves, and everything at one go. Last one, combining everything. Go all out, feel the spine moving in all directions, and also change the circle. And as you're doing this, slowly settle down and come into this all-fours position. And let's move the spine in the Marjorie Asana. Feel free to arch and round. Arch and round. Arch and round. One last arch and round. You can also add your hands and legs. Arch and round. Stretch and round. And also switch the side. Stretch. Arch your spine, round your back, and slowly come back to a seated position. And move your spine in circles. Give it a nice motion in circles, and then look up. Open your hands out. And slowly give yourself a nice hug. And breathe. Try to round your spine and breathe. And then gently keep your eyes closed and settle down in a comfortable seated position. feeling the fluidity that we have just generated on your spine. Knowing that now you're ready to sit for the further sadhana, knowing that now your spine is agile and open and supple, and enjoy the rest of the practice as you remain seated and awake. Let this night of awakening be a great one. Thank you so much for joining in. Have a fantastic night ahead.
Namaste everyone, and thank you for sharing your energies with us today. So now that we've gone through activating the energy channels along the spine, the Ida and the Pingala channels of energy, we will now try to attain a state of meditative concentration through pranayama. And we will do this by bringing our attention to the upper end of the Sushumna stream, which is the energies flowing between the nostrils, the center of the nostrils. So all of us know that we do not breathe equally with both our nostrils at all points in time. At any point of time, one nostril is more dominant than the other, because all of us human beings are essentially made up of two energies. we divide it between the left and the right side. The left side of our bodies is associated with more creative, with more nurturing, with cooling energies such as the moon, which is the latent aspect of consciousness, which is Shakti. And the right side is associated with more doing, more action, with the sun energy, which is the dynamic aspect of consciousness, that is the Shiva. And therefore, we do not breathe equally between the two nostrils because one of the energies is always dominant at any point in time. And these alternate anywhere between 60 to 90 minutes on an average. But there comes a point when they are transitioning, which is a state of balance. And it is a very, very fleeting moment, but it just gives us a glimpse of the balance that is. And that is what we are trying to achieve by breathing, by channeling our life force so that we are able to breathe equally and attain a better meditative practice. So we are going to be doing this with Nadi Shodhan, which is also the alternate nostril breathing. So you sit in any comfortable posture. You can be sitting on a chair, you can be sitting on the floor, or you can have a bolster or a blanket under you. Just make sure that the spine is upright. You can place your left hand in any mudra, like a chin mudra, which is you just touch the tips of the index finger and the thumb together, and the other 3 fingers are straight. You place it on your left thigh, or you can just choose to rest the left hand on the left thigh, and you can take a Nasika mudra with the right hand. So you just bring your index finger and the middle finger, you fold them, and you control the right nostril with the right thumb and the left nostril with the left with the pinky finger and the ring finger. You can choose to keep the first 2 fingers on the forehead, or you can choose to just close them as you may feel comfortable. So we will begin. Placing the index finger and the middle finger on the forehead, controlling the right nostril with the right thumb and the left nostril with the ring finger and the pinky finger. We will just begin with a few rounds of normal breathing. Close your eyes and breathe normally through both the nostrils. Now close your right nostril with the right thumb and inhale through the left nostril. Once you're done, close the left nostril with the pinky finger and open the right nostril and exhale through the right nostril. Now keeping the left nostril closed, inhale right back up through the right nostril. And exhale through the left nostril. Now as we progress into the practice, we will try to keep our exhalation longer than the inhalation. So I'll give you counts. Inhale through the left nostril, Om1, Om2, Om3, Om4, close it. Exhale through the right nostril, Om1, Om2, Om3, Om4, Om5, Om6. Inhale back up through the right nostril, Om1, Om2, Om3, Om4, close it. Exhale through the left, Om1, Om2, Om3, Om4, Om5, Om6. Inhale back up, Om1, Om2, Om4, close it. Exhale through the right nostril. 𝗠1, 𝗠2, 𝗠3, 𝗠4, 𝗠5, 𝗠6. Close the right nostril again. Inhale. 𝗠1, 𝗠2, 𝗠3, 𝗠4. Close it. Exhale through the left. 𝗠1, 𝗠2, 𝗠3, 𝗠4, 𝗠5, 𝗠6. Inhaling through the left. 𝗠1, 𝗠2, 𝗠3, 𝗠4. Close it. Exhale through the right. 𝗠1, 𝗠2, 𝗠3, 𝗠4, 𝗠5, 𝗠6. Inhale through the right. 𝗠1, 𝗠2, 𝗠3, 𝗠4. Close. Exhale from the left. 𝗠1, 𝗠2, 𝗠3, 𝗠4, 𝗠5, 𝗠6. Inhale through the left. 𝗠1, 𝗠2, 𝗠3, 𝗠4. Close it. Ensure that your shoulders are relaxed. Exhaling through the right. 𝗠1, 𝗠2, 𝗠3, 𝗠4, 𝗠5, and 𝗠6. Bring your hands down. Keep your eyes closed. Breathing normally. Notice any changes that you may observe. Bring your awareness to the breath. Notice when you inhale, the belly expands. And as you exhale, it drops. Disconnecting from all the thoughts. And just observing. If a thought comes, just watch it. Observe it and let it go. Bringing your attention to the center of the eyebrows. And just watching. Following the breath, coming into a state of being. And then once you're ready, rubbing both the hands and generating warmth between the palms and placing it on the eyes or any part of your body you feel that needs energy. Release. Take one deep breath. Inhale through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And gently opening the eyes. Thank you. 𝗠𝗵𝗶 Shivaya. शिव कैलाशों के वासी, धौले धारों के राजा, शंकर संकट हरना, शंकर संकट हरना। शिव कैलाशों के वासी, धौले धारों के राजा, शंकर संकट हरना, शंकर संकट हरना। एक था डरा तेरा चंद्र चवारा, एक था डरा तेरा चंद्र चवारा, दूजा लाई भिता भावोरा। ओ भोले बाबा दूजा लाई भिता भावोरा। शिव कैलाशों के वासी, धौले धारों के राजा, शंकर संकट हरना, शंकर संकट हरना। बेल की पत्तियां भांग धतूरा, बेल की पत्तियां भांग
शंकर संकट हरना शंकर संकट हरना तेरे कैलाशों का अंत न पाया तेरे कैलाशों का अंत न पाया अंत बेअंत तेरी माया ओ भोले बाबा अंत बेअंत तेरी माया शिव कैलाशों के वासी धौली धारों के राजा शंकर संकट हरना शंकर संकट हरना शिव कैलाशों के वासी धौली धारों के राजा शंकर संकट हरना शंकर संकट हरना शंकर संकट हरना
This was so beautiful. Thank you. So from moving through body activation, the physical, sthula sharira, we moved a step deeper into the prana sanchara, into activating breath swara. Shiva is the Raja, the ordainer of Swara Yoga, the union of breath, the union of Ida Pingala, feminine, masculines, moon and sun, whatever, the yin yang, the dualities of energy that converge with yoga, with practice, into that non-space of Sushumna. We've all heard these terms, right? Most of us are very, in the new age spirituality, I think it's a good thing. People's insights maybe on whether it's commercializing it or not. But I'll ask you, your generation, you're aware of these concepts on a broad, level, because you're hearing it, you're coming across it very often. And I think I personally would say it is a good thing. So let's not have judgments on whether a particular school of yoga or practice is not exactly what you vibe with, because everything ultimately is vibration. This breath that we moved into, the breath which she expressed her music through, is vibration. We are vibration. Everything that exists, every being, every element, the tattvas, everything around you is vibrating and it's producing sound. That's what happens. My favorite example is in physics, whenever there's any vibration, any nada, as we know in the mythology, in the philosophical or the spiritual context, vibration is called nada, the prathama nada, the first vibration, Big Bang, if you call it. That burst forth, that effulged life, that effulged creation. Because when that tattva that we choose to call Shiva tonight, and maybe all the time, that tattva that goes beyond even these names, even beyond these, labels of form that we've given them, though they're gorgeous, that tattva is beyond these definitions, right? The source tattva just exists in the black hole, if you please, in the vyoma, in the old space or non-space, where that potentiality of everything vibrates as Shiva Shakti. There they are one, they're not Shiva, they're not Shakti, they're just, that is it. But whenever anything is vibrating at a certain potency, when it's vibrating at a certain animated spirit of its own self, when it's consumed and being consumed by its own awareness, there comes a point when that particle, that concept, that notion, that community, that ideology, that country, that society, whatever it is pulsating at a particular potency for a while, it then has to effulge forth. It has to burst forth or implode. So every time Shiva Shakti as one, as that nun, are kind of vibrating to a certain potency that creation needs to be formed, they burst forth as creation. So your breath took you to that vibration where you could separate that Shiva Shakti and you're ready to be birthed into that creation that you are, your whole self. The Shiva that I am, the Shiva that you are, that Shiva that everything is. On this note, let me welcome Prasenjit Kamble with sounds of Shiva. Because once we've established that everything is vibration, hence everything is sound, I would invite Prasen to take us on this journey of sounds of Shiva. Because they say that the Maheshwara Sutranis, the alphabet of the Sanskrit language, came through from Shiva's Damaru. The sounds of the Damaru and the sounds that came out formed the Varnamala, formed the rhythms and the vibrations of language, of the form of communicating that we know as speech. So through speech, through this vocal mode, Prasen, I welcome you to take us on this Sounds of Shiva journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anoopama. The Nada, the sound and both and the unsound. I could hear them both when Anjali sang just a few minutes ago. Because though most people believe that Nad is the sound, sound is only half the aspect of Nad, the Shiva aspect. The Shakti aspect is the unsound, that which cannot be created, that which only manifests on its own, just स्वयंभू है. जो स्वयंभू है उसका तो हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. There's hardly something we can do for that which manifests unto itself. But we surely can do something about that which we have been endowed with the ability to create. The Shiva part of Nadi. Today, as we sit here for the celebrations of Shivratri, there's a very interesting insight I would like to share before we actually move on to the experience of the sounds of Shiva. It is said in the Tantric lore that this night is special. And it is special not because Shiv, a man called Shiv, married a woman called Parvati and they lived happily ever after. It is special because tonight the presence of the Shakti Tattva is too heavy on the earth. The earth is laden with the Shakti Tattva. And Shakti is dynamic. It flickers. It flickers every moment. And to balance this flickering, the Shiva Tattva too descends on the earth. And that is how every moment, the flicker of the Shakti meets the stability of Shiva and a union is formed. The one who catches this flicker, the one who catches this union, is the one who transcends. And to transcend, you just need to be intoxicated with your own awareness. The moment you allow yourself to be intoxicated with the power, with the strength of your awareness, a portal gently opens up for you. And then you are not you. You find in no minute, in no seconds, in no time, that your Ida and your Pingla are one, and they have launched themselves into the experience of the Sushumna. The Nadi Vedan has automatically happened, and the Shiva and Shakti manifest within you. To this experience, the journey has already begun. So I'll just play a little part of it with my particular technology, which we call as the sounds of Shiv. Anoopama just spoke about the way the Maheshwar Sutrani came into existence through the Damru of the Shiv and how an entire language was codified around those sounds. It is these sounds, it's 51 sounds, that make the alphabet system of the Sanskrit language. However, these sounds were not random because they came from a divine instrument. They came through somebody who is divine himself. So these sounds have a very natural impact at certain locations in our body. Not only in our body, but even in the space in which we chant them. This whole thing, we call it as the sounds of Shiv, about how to use the Sanskrit alphabet system to create health, prosperity, and clear spaces. Basically, clear body, clear mind, and clear space. Today, I invite you all to do a small part of this technology with me. It's a very easy part. It's a very easy thing which we have divided into 3 sections of 3 minutes each. Normally we do it 7 minutes each, but today we'll do it 3 minutes each, and it will help you deepen your experience of what has been done so far. So what we do, I'll just demonstrate it to you how we do it. I'll first tell you the 3 positions. This is position number 1 with one hand. Any hand, it could be any hand, the right or the left, on the top of the head. The other hand on the third eye. Shiva's third eye is here. It's not here. It's not the eyebrow center, it's here. This is the position we would be having for the first 3 minutes. For the next 3 minutes, this hand will go to the center of the chest where the heart is. It will stay there for the next 3 minutes, and for the last 3 minutes, it will go to the lower abdomen. You can do this thing sitting, you can do it lying down. Just one thing I would like to tell you is that there's a sound accompanying this. This sound is the Prathama Nada. In the Tantric tradition, Omkar is not the Prathama Nada. The Prathama Nada is the sound of A. So the sound such variation is A. I'll chant it, show it to you in a minute. What we do basically is we hold this position and we chant Note that the sound does not end with a M sound. M se end nahi hota hai. It ends with a W sound. The NV ending. W. I'll just chant it for you again. It is So as you chant this sound, 2 things are very important. One is your hand position, that it stays here for 3 minutes. If you feel a bit of pain or stiffness, you can always change your hands. And the second is, which is the most important of all, that you should be listening to your own sound. When you listen to your own sound, you are aware. You are what we call as in the here and now. So with just these 2 conditions, one is the hand position should not vary, and the second is you should listen to your own sound. I invite you on this wonderful journey of 9 minutes. Ready to begin? Let's start. As you place your palm on the top of the head, gently close your eyes. And then place the other hand on the third eye. Don't forget to listen to your own sound. Gently change your hand from the third eye to the heart and continue the chant. Gently shift your hand from the heart to the lower abdomen and continue the chant, listening to your own voice. Gently release your hands. Allow the chanting to merge into silence and sit quiet with eyes closed. Place both your hands, palm facing upwards on your knees. And let the tips of the thumb touch the tips of the little finger, remaining fingers stretched out. Gently be aware of your breath and without chanting, listen to the sound of the chant. Allow the sounds to merge into silence as you release your fingers and gently open your eyes. Avoid the temptation to rub your palms or touch your face. Let what has been generated be where it is. Thank you so much. Now it's over to you, Anoopama.
Thank you, Prasen. And thank you, sounds of Shiva.
Thank you, Prasen.
I think I can hear myself reverberating right now. So, those of us who are together on this journey tonight, there's a little story about the first song that came to be in creation, they say, Our country, this side of the planet actually, south of the equator, our culture, our spirituality is so sprinkled, so peppered with beautiful stories, beautiful mythological tales and ballads. All of it is not just fantasy. Some of it is itihas, history. I think one of the biggest mistakes our generation or the generation before us onwards have been making is that we assume that all that is mythology is a figment of imagination. I truly believe that a lot of it is born from what we know as itihas, as history, as the origin, okay, not the origin, but the origin of our cycle of man, or to be politically correct, man, woman, and child. So, because truly we can't be possibly the ones who kind of matured from apes and became the Indus Valley, Harappa, Mohenjo-daro civilization or the Mayan civilization. It had to be a more intelligent, more evolved in the way we understand evolution. That's another story for another day, where we say that we are more evolved than animals. Let's not get into that now. But our civilization, or the many infinite civilizations before us, could not have come just from the apes, because of the sophistication of town planning, of building, of weaving, of farming that has been exhibited by what we know as the oldest civilizations in this cycle. So obviously that whole cycle of creation, maintenance, thriving, reaching a pinnacle, and then ebbing, and then kind of fading out to its end to begin again. The dance of Shiva is Tandava, then of Shakti creating, then the Mahavishnu maintaining it, and then dissolution again, is a continuous process. In our understanding, we do not believe in one end. So when they say that Shiva is the destroyer, okay, that's a word I rarely ever use. Shiva, I say it's disillusion, because unless what is birthed, what has become in a particular form, is not dissolved into its source energy, it cannot take another form to learn another lesson, right? Anything, whether it is a life, whether it is an idea, whether it is a civilization, whether it is a thing, if it comes to be, if it is birthed into this physical manifest world, there will come a time where it shall grow, it shall reach its youth, its prime, it will kind of fade into its old age, and then finally dissolve to recur, to re-emerge in another form. So we don't believe in that one day of judgment when it'll be the end of the world. Even our bodies, this body, is regenerating cells on a daily basis. So in a few months, you literally have a whole new body. So this birthing and dying, birthing as dying is an ongoing process. So coming back to that first song, they say that Shiva created the Rudra Veena. It's an instrument that you will hardly get to see nowadays. He created the Rudra Veena and started playing notes to woo his beloved Sati in that cycle of their life before Parvati, this mythologists say. And out of those songs, out of those first notes, the ragas and raginis, was born all of creation. So how beautiful are we, that we are born of the love songs of Shiva and Shakti. So on this note, some more music, some more songs of Shiva with Anjali. Anjali, hand it to you. Come, chat. So I do hope everybody is kind of relaxed and treating this as a very intimate, personal date with Shiva and Shakti. About it, don't get too tense about whether you're doing something right or wrong. Maybe there'll be some network issues. This is like how we do it every year at home. It's very intimate and personal, and treat it like that. Just be in the space with Shiva Shakti. Anjali, all yours.
नमो नमो शंकरा भोलेनाथ शंकरा शंकरा शंभुवे शिवाय शंकरा नमो शंकरा भोलेनाथ शंकरा रुद्रदेव हे महेश्वरा रुद्रदेव हे महेश्वरा सृष्टि के जन्म से भी
सुन लो माइक लगा दे तो क्या है अभी तो आवाज आते हो तो मैं साउंड चाहिए तो मैं रोल कर सकता हूँ
Bridge, but we're back on. So I hope you guys are singing with me. Let's all call to Shiva, and this is a very famous bhajan, so everybody knows it. So please sing along.
महेश्वरा पहले तेरा वास था ये जग रहे या ना रहे रहेगी तेरी आस था क्या समय क्या प्रलय दोनों में तेरी महानता 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 सीपियों की ओट में मोतियां हूँ जिस तरह मेरे मन में शंकरा तू बसा है उस तरह मुझे भरम जो है मेरा था नहीं कभी मेरा था नहीं कभी मेरा अर्थ क्या निरंत क्या जो भी है सभी तेरा सभी तेरा जो भी है सभी तेरा तेरे सामने है झुका मेरे सर पे हाथ रख तेरा नमो नमो जी शंकरा भोलेनाथ शंकरा हे त्रिलोकनाथ शंभो हे शिवाय शंकरा नमो नमो जी शंकरा भोलेनाथ शंकरा रुद्रदेव हे महेश्वरा रुद्रदेव हे महेश्वरा चंद्रमाला लाट पे भस्म है बुझाऊ में वस्त्र भाग छाल खा है खड़ा पाँव में प्यास क्या हो तुझे गंगा है तेरी जटाओं में जटाओं में जटाओं में दूसरों के वास्ते भोलेनाथ शंकरा तू सदैव है जिया शिवाय शंकरा मांग कुछ कभी नहीं भोलेनाथ शंकरा तूने सिर्फ है दिया शिवाय शंकरा समुद्र मंथन का था समय जो आ पड़ा समय जो आ पड़ा था समय जो आ पड़ा खंड दोनों लोक में विश्वमृत पे है छिड़ा विश्वमृत पे है छिड़ा विश्वमृत पे है छिड़ा तेरे सभी में बांट के प्याला विष का तूने खुद पिया नमो नमो जी शंकरा भोलेनाथ शंकरा हे त्रिलोकनाथ शंभो हे शिवाय शंकरा नमो नमो जी शंकरा भोलेनाथ शंकरा रुद्रदेव हे महेश्वरा रुद्रदेव हे महेश्वरा रुद्रदेव हे महेश्वरा हर हर महादेव हर हर महादेव
Sing it. Namo Namo Ye Shankara. Thank you, Anjali. And this is one of my favorite songs, not just because of the beautiful picturization and the emotional connects that we all have with the song now, especially. It talks about that moment in the mythologies again, in the Puranas, of when to me, that is the moment when Rudra, when Shiva, when Jagadharai, Gangadharai, became Mahadev. See, the lines of the song, they say, कि अमृत सबको बांट दिया and विष खुद पान किया. So that moment when without thinking, during the churning of the motion, which is also the churning of our minds, the churning of society that you're seeing happening today as the yugas turn, there's always churning. The change of consciousness of a whole planetary collective is never gentle. So there's a lot of churning that happens. And whenever churning happens, you'll see that a lot of good comes to surface. So you see this new generation, the next generation that is so cued in, that is so present with what needs to be done in existing and coexisting with the planet and everything. At the same time, you will see a lot of halahal, a lot of what we term as not really good for the whole cause coming up. It's part of the cleansing process. So that moment when Rudradev, the young, still seeking his own self, Shiva, strode into those churning waters of the celestial sagar, celestial oceans, and took that wish up and drank it, because otherwise it would have annihilated, it would have consumed all creation. So he consumed what would have consumed existence itself. And they say that at that moment, Shakti strode in, couldn't have had a better cue, 𝗠𝗵𝗶, that this is the moment where Shakti walked in and she places her fingers, places her hand upon his throat, upon his kantha, and the poison, the halahal, the venom is held there, it doesn't go into a system. And he forever burns for us as Nilakantha, the blue-throated one. What it also means in metaphorically, if you look at the story, is we hold our truths, our whole ideology of our truth. We all know what it is within us, whether we exhibit it, whether we express it or not. We know it, and we hold that in our throat. You'll notice, even as kids, or even today, when you walk in and you want to make an excuse to mom or dad, or you want to say something that is not true, you'll always find that little catch, that little feeling of a knot in your throat, or pit in your stomach, definitely. But you'll find the knot in your throat. Because this chakra, the throat chakra, is the Vishuddhi chakra. This is what holds all the toxins, and it is also the ordainer of detoxifying our system, our body system, our energy system, our consciousness system. The tonsils, the throat apparatus also has been put there because that's the first place that it catches all the dirt that comes in, even in the current situation, in the COVID situation. The first manifestation, the first signs are coming into the throat. It stays there in the throat for a while. So I think in these times when we spoke about breath, it is very important to use Shakti, use sounds, use awareness, use sadhana, whatever your sadhana is. What we are doing here is yoga tantra practices, of course. But sadhana is everything or anything that brings you to your whole self in complete presence. To an artist, it is his art, her art. To Anjali, it is the music. To somebody who loves cooking and feeding people, is probably that act of nourishing the ones they care for. To a sports person, it's that goal or that sixer or that trophy one, or that being passionately involved in getting that winning run. So in that moment, in that breath, in that pause between inhale and exhale, whatever the act or notion that brings you to a centeredness of your truth, that brings you into an awareness of your kantha, of who you are and why you are here, what your purpose is, that is what the next section is all about, is delving a little into the divination side of spirituality. You've all heard the word, right? 𝗠𝗵𝗶 is an intuitive worker of energy. I don't know too many of these new age terms. We use terms like light workers and healers. I am not very easy using these terms. We are all just beings. who are trying to learn, trying to unlearn and teach each other and get and grasp from each other. But divination is something that is coming up very popularly in society. It's also very quickly gratifying, right? Where sadhana practice is long term, but divination is something that gives you a quick connect with the energetic side of you. Divination has been part of civilization from the beginning of time. You know, the cavemen did it, the shamans in the forests did it and still do it. And today there are courses to teach you. There are people teaching these beautiful, wonderful, mystic sciences, energy connect technologies, one of which 𝗠𝗵𝗶 is going to lead us. Shakti has arrived right in time to lead us, to guide us into a state of meditation where we will pull in our energies, pull in our sankalpa or dharanas, our visualization, our intention, be present and see what messages we can get from Shiva Shakti for all collective. I had requested her to do a collective reading for the planet, for all beings, for the collective of human consciousness at this very trying time. Because whether we like it or not, in a very non-gentle way, the pandemic has bound us, has woven us into one, realizing that we are nothing but just one consciousness. One little, virus that you can't even see has brought all of us into one equality of tribe. So 𝗠𝗵𝗶, over to you. Lead us into that space where we're ready and open to receive the messages from Shiva and Shakti.
Thank you, Anoopama. Thank you, the Yoga House. Divine gratitude to all of you who have joined us tonight on this beautiful occasion of the divine union of Shiva and Shakti. The primordial energies, the first of the first, twin flame energies, the divine lovers who have descended down onto this planet to be present in all of us. Today, I would request all of you to join your hands as we welcome the divine energies of Shiva and Shakti into our heart space, and gently close your eyes as we bow down to the divine powers of Shiva and Shakti, the yin and the yang, the divine lovers, to provide us the channeled guidance that is meant for us for this moment now. We have heard about the inner union, the meeting of the Shakti as she rises from the root chakra up to the crown and merges with Shiva. Shiva, who is beyond the world, who is the nothingness, and who is not even the name, but yet we call him Shiva to feel that energy of the divine masculine in our body. Let us connect to these energies within us, which when descended from the higher realms into our bodies, they forgot who they are. And so the Shiva stays at the crown and the Shakti stays in the root, trying to merge, yet they have to cross the different channels or the different chakras to finally meet each other and feel the supreme consciousness into this body. Let us today allow the divine to cross over from the crown chakra into our hearts and allow the Shakti to move from the root to our heart space. And as we do so, I will be connecting to the Akasha to bring in the divine guidance for all of you for this moment. I request all of you to keep your eyes closed and focus on your breathing as I connect to all of your energies. So when the Shakti, the goddess energy, who is full of creative force and wants to manifest herself into this world, rises up, she has to cross different channels to reach Shiva, which is the root to clear out all her fears and insecurities. And she is present in all of us, irrespective of our gender. She crosses the root, then she comes to the sacral space and she heals her emotional side. She embraces her creativity. She rises up, reaches the solar plexus, regains her power, and knows that she is her own protector. Then moving up to her heart space, she knows that forgiveness and love is her pathway to Shiva. And then she rises up to the throat, expresses her truth, exactly what is happening in our world today. Knowing what is my truth and expressing it out into the world, then she rises up, connecting to her inner guidance and knowing that inner union is the pathway to the outer union. She rises up and merges with the divine. All the while, the Shakti rises through the chakras. We go through different challenges in our physical life, all leading us back to the divine. When the inner union establishes in each and every cell of our body, we start manifesting this union in our outside world. We use the term twin flame journey in our modern world, and it is a journey both within and outside. So irrespective of whether you have manifested that journey in your outer world, this union of Shiva and Shakti always stays within you. And this is why we have actually incarnated into this physical world, to feel the divine within, to feel the supreme consciousness within ourselves. With this, when she rises and merges with the divine, she trusts him completely. The divine feminine energy, which is present in all of us, she trusts the divine, who then directs her, and different manifestations in the physical world arise. So it is the feminine which is loving him, and it is the masculine who is allowing her to lead. It is the feminine who is nurturing the masculine within, and it is the masculine who is protecting her within. It is the feminine who looks up to the masculine, and it is the masculine who supports her unconditionally. When this inner union happens within, you become a whole and sovereign being, and you trust the divine plan completely. When we trust the divine plan completely, we become one with the universe, and that is how our highest potential manifests out into this world. So with this said, I would like now to pull out guidance for all of you here, as I'm already connecting to the Akasha and to all the participants who are in this session and who are watching it live and who will be watching this video later on. I am trying to connect to the energies of all the beautiful souls who have joined us today on this wedding, on this union night of Shiva and Shakti, the divine lovers within us. I felt guided to the power of surrender cards because I feel the collective has to surrender now, surrender different aspects of healing within our own body, within our chakras. So let's draw in guidance that is meant to reach us at this moment. I feel the goddess is there in the heart space, and she is So excited because she is finally going to merge with the divine tonight. Connecting to the divine goddess energy, Mother Goddess, to bring in guidance for the divine feminine embodiments for this moment. Surrender to spirit. The divine feminine embodiments and the divine feminine element within all of us needs to surrender to the spirit, which means the work that you were meant to do, the efforts that you were meant to put in have already been done. The seeds have been planted. Now you have to open your heart to receive. Now you have to surrender to the divine and receive what is meant for you. When you do so, whatever is meant for your highest good will automatically manifest into your life. Connecting to the Shiva consciousness to understand the messages coming in for the divine masculine embodiments and for the divine masculine energy within us. The energy that protects us, the energy that gives us the stability to live this life grounded on this planet. Let's see what the guidance is coming in from Lord Shiva. Surrender unhealthy relationships. This message is for the divine masculine embodiment. Specifically, this is what I feel, who are in unhealthy and toxic relationships. They are being guided to take charge of their life and to surrender to the divine feminine energies within them. How to surrender to the divine feminine energy is when you start embracing the goddess within you. The goddess is within you. You allow her to rise. You allow her to reach the heart, the third eye, and then she guides you where exactly you have to put your energies and where exactly you have to move ahead in your life. I would specifically want to read out the message which is here on the card. It says, let go of relationships that do not serve you. It is time to cut cords to move ahead in life, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. I feel that the divine masculine energy within us is somehow distorted, and it has somehow just followed for all these centuries the distorted energies which guide us to form relationships and to get into situations which are according to the conditioning of the world, and they just follow it unconsciously. Here they are being guided to embrace the divine feminine within and to let go of people and situations that do not resonate with your heart anymore. I would like to now pull out guidance for the collective, irrespective of our gender. Spirit, please guide us. Shiva Shakti, please guide us what we need to surrender at the moment to align with the inner union. Surrender the drama. All right, so a lot of toxic energy that is building up in the collective, maybe because of the situations that we've been put through, a lot of karmic situations that we are now being guided to let go of. So the card reads that no matter how emotionally charged the situation is, remain calm. Choose not to react, choose not to retaliate, choose not to be a part of a toxic situation. Choose peacefulness, forgiveness, and calmness. Surrender the drama into your life. One more last card I would like to pull out for the collective. Then I would like to hand over to Anoopama to carry forward this beautiful session. Let's pull out the guidance that's coming in from the Shiva Shakti, the divine lovers on their wedding night, the night of the union. I would request a message for the people who are there on the twin flame journey, who are embracing the inner union to manifest an outer union. Spirit, please guide us. What is the message for the divine lovers? Divine lovers have to surrender the addictions. I feel this message is reaching out specifically for a group of people here where addictions can be for food, people, overworking, relationships, toxic relationships, and situations where you have kept yourself bounded, okay? And you feel that it is better to stay in that comfort zone of repetitive patterns. You are being asked to let go of that addiction. It can be different for different people. Some people are addicted to food, junk food, which is very harmful for the body. So whatever addiction you have, you know it in your mind, and you are being guided to now let go of it, to come back into your power. Take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with healthier alternatives. Now, this is something which is going to help you attain the inner union. I feel the energy going to our solar and sacral chakras. So I feel some of us have to work on these energy centers in order to release the grip of toxic patterns and addictions that we have in life. So this is the message that's coming in from Shiva Shakti, who are present in our body, in our physical body, and who want to reunite with each other if we just start trusting more and if we just start releasing our ego out of our systems. So thank you, everyone. I hope these messages resonated for all of you. Thank you, Anoopama, and thank you, the Yoga House, for making me a part of this divine celebration tonight. I am so much enjoying the beautiful songs and the divine guidance that's coming in through all the teachers present here. And now passing it on to Anoopama. Thank you so much for making me a part of this.
और डिम कर लो। बहुत ब्राइट है, तो मत देख ले। वहाँ कैसे दिखा रही है? ये रेड वाले बंद कर दें। If we trust more, thank you, Grandmother, for taking us on this little journey into what we often keep talking about, the union. Actually, we are physical manifestations, our physical, I wouldn't say limited existence, but yes, it is a mortal experience, a manifestation of the whole self. We sometimes tend to talk a lot about, things that happen in the cosmic and the things that are happening universally. I guess it's all experiential. It's all what anubhutis, what finer, subtle nuances we glimpse during our journeys. But trust is something that she spoke about. I think where mankind has been coming from for a while now is we had stopped trusting really, trusting ourselves, trusting each other, trusting the fact that there is something, someone, some intelligence, some power, some energy, call it what you will, that is beyond the cognitive understanding of man, the cognitive understanding of humanity. In this, the natural world is more tuned. But we had stopped trusting. We were so engrossed in racing and reaching and hoarding that the attaining and easing and pausing had left us, and we were put on this great pause. We're still all kind of coming out from there. And, let's see where this journey takes us. But that tattva, like we said, is always in union, is always one. But they've been manifesting constantly as Shiva Shakti, as Radha Krishna, as Prakriti and Purush aspects of all creation. So even these new age terms, I don't know, maybe some of you will want to shoot me for this, is all these, liberating terms of down with patriarchy that's so in nowadays. I really wonder, why is there a need for us? And this again is to do with the trust factor. Why is there a need for us to show some aspect down so that I may rise? Why can I and they and everybody rise together and entwine together in this passionate play of life? So I am not personally, it's everybody's call. I'm not from the school of down with any one particular energy system or anything. I think we have to learn to move together. I don't know if some of you saw what came to me the other day, I wrote about it, is that that pure, all-consuming and consumed love of Shiva Shakti, to me, is knowing exactly it's not 50-50. No relationship ever is 50-50. That's that ego point we come from. That, they have to come and meet me halfway. Because in any relationship, like anything else in life, nothing is constant. We are constantly mutating and changing and metamorphosing and evolving or devolving every day. So the true Shiva Shakti of any relationship, whether it's with your partner, whether it's a sibling, a parent, colleagues at work, friends, neighbors, anything, your relationship with life, is knowing instinctively who has to hold and who has to surrender, because these roles keep changing. So matriarchy and patriarchy, these labels that we give, at least for tonight, let's shed these labels and just be in the bliss of acknowledging and trusting that, yes, in manifest existence, there are two forces of energy that will combine to make me whole. And both need honoring, both need that love and that acceptance and embracing in our journey of life. So we are in that magic hour. It's just about past midnight. That hour when काशी में कहते हैं भस्म ओढ़ के Shiv is parading where the pyres of where the bodies are shed are lit. So the terrible, magnificent Swarupa of Shiva, who lives in the burning huts, in the lands that is covered with ash, and he consumes himself with that ash to tell us that this tattva, this 5 or 36 elements, actually, we'll talk about that some other day, is what everything is made of and is all one. And there are sound systems that Adi Yogi himself has given to us as heritage, has handed down to mankind, to our understanding. There are sound systems that tap upon the elements, the pancha main mahabhutas, the pancha tattvas, the 5 elements of water, earth, wind, fire, and ether, or space, that everything is made of broadly. There were notes that he gave us and told us, you just chant this. And everything, all the doshas, all the vikritis, all the prakritis in your body get balanced. So, do we know what those letters are? Anybody? And I think for the chant, we can unmute everybody to join along. Just make sure that you are not getting disturbing sounds, and don't talk or do anything else. Try. Even if it happens, it's okay. It's just us. Try it together. So those Panchaksharis, do we know what they are? Namaha Shivaya. So we tend to say it usually Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, right? So we're just going to do a little bit of chant along, and I would like to hear you all chant along. We will start out louder and fade it in till it's just a vibration within. We will break that up into the phonetics, into that sound tappings, so that the elements that we are, the bhasma that we are, becomes completely balanced, and we can arrive at that state of Shiva. Shiva is not just the sinewy, gorgeous, muscle-bound, handsome God that we love to see. He is that too. But Shiva really is a state, is a sthiti that we must hope to attain, even in glimpses, hope to be at, even in moments of meditation and meditation. And that is all there is. So seating yourselves down comfortably. If you are on the floor, just make sure that you've taken your left foot in first, and your right could be placed on the ground before you. It's not necessary to sit in an Ardha Padma or Padmasana. Sit in a Siddha Sukhasana, left foot close to your pelvic, and the right placed on the floor before you. And see what ease and balance you come to. The Mooladhara, the root, gets completely grounded and surrendered onto the earth. And the spine automatically lifts itself. You'll find this the minute you sit in Siddha Sukha, you'll find the spine is like sitting a little more erect. Don't make it stiff. Allow it to be soft. That's how the prana is removed, right? And if you are on a chair or a sofa, if you are sitting cross-legged, the same thing. If you are sitting with your legs placed down, please ensure that the feet are placed flat on the ground, on Ma Prithvi. So don't cross your legs, don't have the heels turning or your feet turning. Just place it, solidify it. You will find, notice this when you're standing, when you're sitting, we have so much difficulty connecting that most of the time, even when you're sleeping, you're crossing your legs, or you're sitting, you're crossing your legs. When you're standing, you do the 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝘃𝗥 of Krishna and stand most of the time. Or we are putting more weight on one leg. See how you can stand with your feet a little apart when you're standing even, and feet firmly on the ground. Just surrender that weight, all the awareness of body unto Mother Earth. And just allow yourself to breathe gently, normally. Don't try and control the breath, don't try and manipulate the breath. Just kind of be in the breath. Don't even be aware of it, be in it. So when we do the Ucharana, the expressing, the rising up, we shall do it with the exhale. And between each chant, between each Ucharana, there will be a deep inhale and then we will go with the chant. So arriving at ease and being seated, arriving unto the seating. Therefore, favorite words, aren't they? But first arrive unto the seating itself. A beautiful posture. Palms lying open, ready to receive upon your lap. Just ease your neck. Make sure there's no tension anywhere. Inhale. When you inhale, first fill the heart space where the prana expands, and then allow the prana to go and fill your belly. So breathing fully, don't worry if you look a little bloated when you breathe in. Fill yourself fully, chest out, the belly full with prana. And when you do the Ucharana, softly engage the belly, engage the solar plexus, pulling in the belly when we do the pronunciation or the chant. Breathing in deep. Staying with that vibration. I noticed when you did the 𝗠𝗵𝗶 Shivaya, your energies grounded themselves, moved down into the earth. And when we return, the Shivaya Namaha Om, we pulled and drew into that earth Shakti and pulled it up. We would have found a sanchar of energy when we reversed it. So, given to the elements so that you rise off the elements again, renewed.
Shiva Rameshwaraya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Rameshwaraya, Shiva Rameshwaraya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Rameshwaraya, Shiva Rameshwaraya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Gangadharai, Shiva Gangadharai, 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 Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Jatadharai, Shiva Jatadharai, 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 Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Someshwarai, Shiva Someshwarai, 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 Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Namah Shivaya. Vishveshwarai, Shiva Vishveshwarai, Har Har Bole 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 Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Koteshwaray Shiv Koteshwaray. 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 Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya Mahakaleshwaray. Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya Mahakaleshwaray. Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Bole Namah Shivaya. So I don't know how many were singing along. I hope you were. Take a few minutes of break if you want to take a little washroom break, drink some water before we get into the last meditation for tonight. So stay in the stillness. Move around a little bit if you want. A minute, two, so that we can come back and dive deep into the meditation.
Sir, open the door, sound.
I hope everybody is back. Somehow this night you don't even feel sleepy, you know? You just want to be up. And somehow you don't even feel so hungry through the day. The system kind of detoxes. Anyway, every 30 to 45 days, depending on your food and lifestyle and body type, our body needs the detox of fasting. The whole system of fasting is not really superstition, or it became all that in the medieval ages, and a whole lot of other conditions were applied to why you fast and who fasts and if you do or don't fast. These were all what was called karma kand, or the middle medieval period where a whole lot of power play with religion was happening. But the system of fasting, actually coinciding with phases of the moon, cycles of the sun, really helps in detox your systems. Nowadays we go for external colon cleansing, all kinds of cleansing requirements because of our diet, because of our body maintenance or the lack of it. The system of fasting actually was to make sure that all that we put in and collect, the debris gets cleared out and you're refreshed and recharged and fresh. So those of us who are fasting today, you'll note that somehow it's so people say it's in your mind. You don't get hungry because bhakti itni hai, you're so devout and you're so into the emotion of it. No, it's because the alignment of the cosmos, alignment of the energies of the universe, of which we are a reflection, we are completely synced to that. The moon, the sun, everything is, the planets, the stars, everything is reflected within our system. So on these certain days, the body automatically, if you listen to it, requires less maintenance. So these are those non-maintenance days of the body where you just let it be and let it do its thing. So those of us who are fasting will feel a little dizzy maybe once you're through with meditation or with any kriya or breath work, because your body is very light and heady, and we are not used to so much of oxygenation anyway in the body. We breathe generally only up to here, because most of the time our palms are closed. So if you have arrived until your seating, can my team just help me with, are people sitting down or people are seated?
Yeah, body.
So arriving back into the seating, let's do that little exercise. We haven't done that before, is putting your palms face down on your lap. Don't clutch your knees or anything, just let it rest. And breathe, normally, just breathe. Just in an awareness of the breath. Follow where it goes, follow where it stalls, where it collects, where it spreads. And exhale. Do this a couple of times. Breathe in with your hands facing the palms down, resting on your knees, palms facing down. And now just allow the palms to open up, facing upward. And in. And exhale. You don't need those 3-4 breaths to see the difference. So most of our life we spend with our palms down, especially nowadays with the keyboards and all the punching life that we lead. So we are always breathing max to max if you're really, in top shape, up to your diaphragm. And your lower body, your energies, your chakra systems, the endocrinal system is left pretty parched. So kriyas, our plays and dances of breath, our methodologies, our technologies that Adi Yogi has handed down. So a lot of the kriyas come from the Nath traditions, from the Siddha traditions of the Shaivite understanding of knowledge, of knowing. So because they say Adi Yogi, the first one who probably experimented and explored and documented the nuances of our breath, of our body, of every cell. If you ever go into the Devi Kavach, you will be blown by the detail in which the anatomy is described in it. Okay, so the Devi Kavach is actually where the Devi is said to reside in various parts of our body as various forms or avatars or swarupas. So Mahadevi is in the heart. And so in that, the description, and these are texts written centuries of generations ago. So it describes the physical body, your flesh, your bones, your muscle, your organs, the blood vessels, the nervous system, up to the point where it says the nails upon your fingers, the nails upon your toes, the shine on the nails upon your fingers and toes, the hair upon your body, the pores from which you sweat, to then it goes into the sukshma, the subtle sharira of your emotion, the mind, the koshas, the aura, and the energy and light that you are. So our understanding of the body itself, the body system itself, was so deep, so we still haven't, cognitive science still hasn't acknowledged all of it, you know. Unfortunately, a lot of cognitive science and medicine, it's changing. There is some kind of a blend, osmosis happening, acceptance happening. But cognitive sciences, especially medical faculties, will always deny the possibility of what is termed as alternative. Breathwork, yoga, crystals, energy healing work. Whereas I think we do not ever deny the role that medicine plays. That too is the will of Shiva, right? Of Shakti, right? It has its place, it definitely has its place in life. But at the same time, to not accept that there's this whole energy play, the story of energy that's happening within you. So the first one who we know of in this cycle of our consciousness, of our planet's life, was Shiva, Adi Yogi. And he gave us this whole documentation of Swara Yoga and 𝗕𝗵𝗶𝘃𝗥, which were methodologies or technologies of keeping yourself in shape, physically, mentally, emotionally, and yes, spiritually and consciousness-wise. So arriving back onto the seating, I'm not going to repeat that because we've done that over and over again. Allowing your whole energy system to just come back onto the body and then releasing it back onto the earth, letting it all go. All sense of entitlement, all sense of owning this body is released. Do not close your eyes just as yet. Allow your gaze to just pour a few feet before you upon the earth. Don't look, simply gaze. Gaze in honor, in thanksgiving, in absolute dissolving love for the Mother who holds us, upholds us at all times. Inhale and exhale. That exhale pours out through the gaze onto the earth. And when the stillness is arrived at, when you feel completely present within this framework of body, allow the eyes to close themselves gently, gradually. And just for a moment, bring yourself completely to that arrival unto the seating. Soft, supple spine but held erect. Shoulders soft but not drooping. Palms facing upward always. If your head was tilted a little forward while gazing at the earth, at the mother, now with your eyes closed, as the gaze moves from the seeing to the all-seeing within, allow the head to lift up gently, slightly upturned, and then keep allowing it to drop as far back as it goes. Surrendering, there is no fear of falling, just allow the head to drop all the way back. If there is any resistance, as we see in class a lot of times, that a lot of you hold so much in the Sukshma chakra mandalas that are behind the head. We store a lot there, the granthis, but your head will not go back beyond a point. There is this fear of falling, fear of failure, fear of disconnect or losing something that you own. Just give that up. And if you find that you're still not able to, just gently begin to tap the middle of your forehead with your left hand, the middle and the ring finger. Just gently tap somewhere along the brow. Don't focus on chakra, the third eye. Just keep tapping your brow gently. And you see how the head drops back. Maintain that touch upon the brow as your head just completely falls and surrenders, because you're shedding all fear of the unknown. And as you reach this level of comfort in just staying there, lolling your head behind, bring it back very gently, very easily, very slowly. No sudden movements. You will get dizzy if you do. Take your time. Don't try and look at other windows to see if anybody else is already up or not. You take your time, but just keep the chin mildly lifted. And the pupils, then the gaze automatically turns inward and starts moving towards the crown from within. It's almost like your vision, your viewing, your seeing has melted into a non-seeing within. Maintaining that. You're going to be invoking the breath to be inhaled through the left nostril, the Chandra Nadi, the breath of intuition and mystic, the breath of the moon. Do not check with your fingers, do not try to check if the Nadi is moving. Invoke, do an avahana to the breath, invite it to be breathed in through the left and travel all the way up. Now we're going to be breathing upward. The physical breath will do its own thing. It'll keep breathing in and out. We're invoking the pranic breath, the prana breath. So we're going to be inhaling, following that gaze upward, piercing that inhale past the brows and up the crown and out. As yogis, our prana can move linear. So we're going to be flowing with that prana. So as you invoke the breath to come in through the left nostril, past the forehead, past the top of the head, the crown, and burst out. Follow it as far as it goes. And it pauses of its own calling. You don't have to hold it, no kumbhak. Follow the breath up to the Brahmarandra and past into the cosmos, connecting this physical breath with the cosmic breath. And stay there as long as you feel like staying, and as you exhale, you return back and exhale through the right, expressing the radiance of the sun breath, the Surya Nadi. So breathing in Shiva, up past the forehead, the top of the head, the crown, and out. See where it goes. See what lokas, what realms, what kind of texture it cuts through, it moves through to reach its dissolution. Each of us will have our own dissolution points. And staying there in Shiva Loka, the land of no descriptors, and returning in a pour of Shakti through the right, staying in that breath for a while now. Just a gentle awareness of where you feel the movements and shift within the physical body, and when you move out from beyond that physical. cycle of breath. We're going to be invoking the prana now to move from the inhale through the heart into the earth. So we breathe, inhale all the way down so that gaze that was turned upward now begins to move into the heart, into the pool of love, the pool of Mahadev and Mahadevi. And as we exhale, we'll be exhaling through the mouth. You will find that your head will tilt automatically forward. Now maintaining that same inhale through the left, past the nasal passage, past the throat, expanding and filling the heart space, down the arms, the torso, the legs, and into the earth. And this time we follow it as deep into the earth, into the womb of the earth as you can go. See where you rest. The breath of Bhairava, the breath of Kala, to cleanse and release. And rest and heal in that womb. For as long as the breath pauses naturally, do not hold the breath, please. Allowing the head to tilt forward. If it moves all the way down to the chest, it's okay. Like a child returning back to the womb. So, tilting your head, don't go like heavy head necked, keep the neck soft. Don't force yourself, you're not attaining a posture. Just see how far your head likes to just rest naturally. So that the inhale can now move downward into the earth. Inhale through the left, all the way down, past the throat, the heart, torso, the arms, the legs, the feet, and into the earth, going all the way down. And rest there, stay, sleep for that pause. And renewed, rise up, drawing energy from the earth. Past the feet, up the legs, the torso, up the arms, again filling the heart and expressed through the right nostril. So we're weaving the polarities from the Brahma Randra to the Patala, the two ends of our cosmic existence. The intention, the sankalpa, the dharana is of Kala, the ordainer of time, space, Bhairava. breath cycles. Really deep inhaling. Staying there as long as you wish, rising up, surging up, and exhale. Inhale and exhale through the mouth. You can allow your hands to slip to the floor if you are on the floor. And just ground yourself with connecting with the physicality of this body. The breath will feel very balanced. There is no left or right. It's a very central breathing. Allow the head to come back to its natural posture, looking forward. And with the exhale through the mouth, at your own pace, at your own ease, allow the eyes to open again. Return from that all gaze or non-gaze to the seeing. And balance. The scope of your vision will have expanded. When you're in the central Sushumna sthiti, perspectives, perceptions expand. And the first thing that you check on that is when you look at a room, usually you'll be seeing what is in front of you. When you come out of Kriya, especially the ones that are Nadi oriented, you will see that even if you're looking straight, you can see your entire room in one view. This is not usually how you look, how you see. But at this moment, you will be aware, like I can see absolutely, I'm looking straight at you, but I can see the door on the left. And I'm being able to see the window in the white curtains. So this is just the physicality of expansion that you experience. So imagine what regular practices, what regularly staying connected to the breath can do to our whole existence, our whole perception, and our whole adaptability to the expanse of life. I think we are close to this session's closing. Usually we go into like 4:35 when we are at home, but tonight I shall take your leave. We all will take our leave. And I'll go back home to do a little practice with my Shiva at home. Those of you who are staying up tonight, try and be in some kind of sadhana and some kind of practice, because it's good for you. And I hope next year it'll be a gathering as always. No, I know next year will be a gathering as always. And in between, I think we'll connect through retreats, through online workshops and classes are on as usual. And I really miss all of you, all my students who I see here today now. I really, really miss you, and we'll connect soon. So the others have, already gone home. Janil is already here. I'm still here, so I think, let's say our Shubharatris. Thank you for those who were with us through the little glitches, through us finding our way through this whole new wired world. Shubharasti.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you. Thank you, Anoopama.
Thank you, Janil. And stay in touch, stay connected with us. A lot of stuff coming up, a lot of interesting things to delve into coming up soon. So, Shiva Asti.
Om Namah Shivaya.